I'm sorry, Mavs fans. Kyrie Irving is out for the season with a torn ACL. My main thought here is this. Patrick Dumont, the Mavericks owner, needs to fire Nico Harrison today. This injury is an opportunity for him to gain the respect and trust of Mavericks fans by admitting the grave mistake, because this is all Nico Harrison's fault. All of it. The idiotic decision to trade a 25-year-old megastar in Luka Doncic less than 1 year after making the NBA Finals. That led to rushing Anthony Davis back from injury because you feel like there's something to prove. You got to get him out there on the floor. Him getting hurt in his first game back, that's Nico Harrison's fault. It led to Kyrie Irving leading the NBA in minutes for over 1 month now. Almost 40 minutes per game since the Luka trade. Why is that? Higher usage in years because he needs to play more. He needs to have the ball in his hands more. He's had a higher usage than he's had in years at age 32 with an extensive injury history in his own right. And then he tears his ACL in a way that appears to be due to wear and tear of overuse. And I feel for Kyrie here because the NBA is a better league with a player like him with his just absolutely majestic style. One of the most stylish, beautiful players I have ever seen in my entire life. And now we don't have him for 9 months, maybe a year. That's Nico Harrison's fault. And Patrick Dumont allowed it all to happen. But rather than letting these mistakes snowball and letting resent build, as this Mavs fan base becomes increasingly disinterested in the franchise, especially season ticket prices going up by 8% for next season, Dumont can take the first step in starting anew here by admitting his mistake, firing Nico Harrison, and hiring a new front office to run this thing and build it all back up again. Now, where do you begin, though? The Mavs are 32-30. There's a 10 seed. Kyrie's out. Derek Lively's out. Daniel Gafford's out. Anthony Davis is out after stupidly trading Luka for him. They need to shut down AD for the remainder of the season. Get the adductor strain surgery, which he might be getting this summer anyway. Get that started earlier so he can come back sooner. And at the 10 seed right now, the Suns 3.5 back from them. The Blazers 4 back from them. There's a real chance one of those two teams are able to slide into that 10 spot. So the Mavericks know about tanking. They tanked out of the play-in 2 years ago. They get Derek Lively. They had Luka and Kyrie at that time. Now they don't have Luka. They might not have Kyrie moving forward. So tank again. Tank out of the play-in. And even if you only get the 9th or the 10th odds, you get a chance to move up. A team in that 8 to 11 range always moves into the top 4 every year. And if you get lucky and land number 1, I mean, dude, like Cooper Flagg is one of the best prospects I've seen in my lifetime. He is a guaranteed all-star caliber level player. That is his floor as an NBA player. The upside, we're talking like one of the 5 to 10 best players in basketball. He is a high floor, high ceiling guy, but it's not just a Cooper Flagg draft. That's where the appeal is for some of these teams that might want to tank out of the play-in. In the East, of course, you got teams that don't even belong in the playoffs with poor records. They don't even need to try to tank to have bad records. But then Dallas, you get teams behind you, especially Phoenix, that are going to be fighting like hell to try to get in. The Mavericks, what's the point? Go for another high draft pick and set yourself up for more flexibility this offseason. And the Mavs are going to have to look in the mirror. You got Kyrie with a $44 million player option, entering his mid-30s, coming off of a torn ACL. Maybe he picks that up, but do you really want to keep him? Or do you want to flip him? Could he even decide to leave on his own? We'll see how that plays out, but that injury is going to dig into next season. And then you have Anthony Davis. He has 2 guaranteed years remaining on his contract, then a 1-year player option. Do you keep trying to win? Or do you trade those guys away? Because as bad as the Luka deal was, AD is a top 10 player. He is worth the equivalent of 4 or 5 first-round draft picks, so you could trade him for a strong return. And even if it only ends up 3 or 4, that's still a good return. But do you keep trying to win when it feels like, by trading Luka, you shut your own window for championship contention 1 year after being in the freaking finals? It's ridiculous. I still can't get over. I really can't get over it. You're in the finals in June. In June, you're in the NBA finals. I was in Dallas for one of those games, and it was the game Dallas won. Mavs fans are amazing. I've been in Dallas multiple times. It is one of the best fan bases in basketball. You're in the finals in June. And now we're talking about Luka being with the Lakers. And do you keep AD? Kyrie torn ACL? It is the season from hell, man. It is the season from hell, but it's the situation that the Mavs are in. And I hope the Mavericks fans that have felt like, do I really want to root for this team anymore? I hope they're able to be won back and have what has made them such an amazing fan base. But like that's where these decisions are going to have to be made by Dumont and whoever's running the front office. The Mavericks control their 25 first-round pick. They control their 26 first-round draft pick. Next year is even better than this year. A.J. DeBonsa, Darren Peterson, Cam Boozer, those are some of the names you're going to be hearing about next year dominating college basketball. Those guys are all number one pick-worthy prospects. So next year, like, tanking could be a route for a lot of teams next year. The tough thing for Dallas is they don't control their first from 27 through 30. It goes to Charlotte, top 2 protected in 27. There's a swap with OKC in 28. They lose it in 29, but they unfortunately get the Lakers pick. And they have a swap with the Spurs in 30. But, maybe Dallas can build something out where they're young and competitive and you feel hope rather than this current state of the team where it's old, lifeless, with injury-prone players, as you know right now, and with a GM that's a constant reminder of the worst trade in NBA history, a trade that seems so bad that the franchise might just be cursed. I grew up a Red Sox fan. I'm thinking, is this Luka trade a repeat of Babe Ruth being traded in 1918, the curse of the Bambino? Is trading Luka the curse of the Dawn? But the Mavericks can put an end to it. They can stop decades of suffering just by Patrick Dumont admitting his mistake and firing Nico Harrison, starting things anew with the Dallas Mavericks and hopefully leading to a brighter future. But right now, man, like this could not be any uglier. It is the season from hell in Dallas.